Hello, I'm Pep Rosenfeld, and Salesforce and I welcome you to this episode of Leading Through Change. This one will focus on e-commerce. Digital has rapidly become a critical channel for conducting business across the sales channel for B2B companies. At this moment, there is an unprecedented urgency for businesses to quickly shift from traditional channels to digital in order to adapt and thrive in this new normal. Hear best practices and insights from trailblazer Andre Gooms, Digital Commerce Manager for Dawn Foods, on how the business is investing in a new channel to engage with their customers and preparing to thrive in the new normal. If you're ready, I sure am, so let's get to it.
Welcome everyone to episode 2 of Leading Through Change. This is the commerce episode where we will be hosting Dawn Foods today and hearing how they are finding new ways to connect with their customers and preparing for the next normal. So let's get started. First off, we will set the context with seeing how COVID-19 has impacted businesses, what's coming up next, and the new challenges that businesses might be facing in the aftermath of the pandemic. But then quickly, we're going to move, and it's my pleasure to announce Andre Gomez today on the call, so Digital Commerce Manager for Dawn Foods. And we will be talking about how Andre has been leading the digital transformation for Dawn Foods' B2B business. And last but not least, a couple of ways of how you can get started with Salesforce Commerce Cloud to get your business online. So we're all collectively hoping that the worst of the crisis is behind us, where governments, businesses, and individuals are all figuring out what this new normal looks like for them now. The fact of the matter is, however, that the pandemic severely impacted our relationships. With face-to-face channels completely off the table, businesses and individuals were looking for how to create these engagements through other channels, mainly online. And we've seen through many of our customers that the pandemic accelerated their move to online. A recent study by McKinsey found that the importance of digital versus traditional channels doubled with the impact of COVID-19. And not only that, but businesses are also more likely to be chosen if they're offering digital experiences. And B2B buyers, 62% of them can finalize a vendor list based solely on digital content, so what they see online. And we're truly feeling that this is an inflection point. But digital channels were already on the rise even before the pandemic. In this recent study by McKinsey, over the past 3 years, there has been a drastic increase in the preference for self-service channels for B2B customers, from research through to reordering. So thinking about what your business is going to look like in the new normal, consider that business priorities have probably stayed the same, but the solution has moved online. For instance, you're probably still looking to grow revenue and open into new markets. The good news is businesses that adopted a multi-channel strategy were on average 15% more profitable than those who didn't, according to Accenture Digital. Second, COVID-19 caught a lot of businesses off guard, and so cash reserves are probably depleted at this point. Again, if you invest in improved experiences and move them online, you are able to lower your cost to serve on average by 50%, according to McKinsey. And last but not least, who doesn't want their customers to be loyal and to grow their long-term value with the business? About 86% of B2B customers prefer self-service tools for routine tasks like reordering. So this is why Salesforce has developed Customer 360, a digital-first platform to connect all the different touch points with your customers and center your business and processes around the customer. And businesses who do this are the ones who are going to succeed and thrive in this next normal. So speaking of digital transformations and getting online quickly, it is my pleasure to introduce Andre, the Digital Commerce Manager at Dawn Foods, joining us here today. Andre, welcome.
Hi, Melise. Thank you very much for having me. Pleasure to be here.
Andre, can you tell us a little bit about your current role at Dawn Foods and give some background into the company?
Sure. I am the Digital Commerce Manager at Dawn Foods. I'm leading the digital transformation in a company that celebrates its 100-year birthday this year. We're a manufacturing business. We're in the baking industry. We focus on the sweet bakery industry. over the years, Don has been known to transform. That's how you survive over 100 years. And we're now taking this massive step into the next level and using technology to transform our business to make sure that we can continue to be around and service our customers for another 100 years.
Now, speaking of digital transformation, what are some of the key trends you're seeing evolve from this post-COVID world? Like, what does the new normal, what's it looking like?
Yeah, so I mean, there are some challenges that were there already, that existed, that we were aware of, that just get exacerbated by the whole COVID-19 crisis. What we see is that one of the key challenges that bakers face is getting labor, so people that want to be bakers. What we've also saw over the last 3 or 4 weeks is a tendency to move online, not only from the consumer perspective, but also from the baker perspective. The consumer starts to look for the ability to purchase the goods that they want online, and the baker has noticed that tendency as well, and has been looking for ways to also get their own products online as a way to keep their business going. The challenges that we've seen is that because of the fact that we're present in several countries within Europe, we see different challenges in each country that we're present in, because there hasn't been a single approach to deal with the COVID-19 challenges. We see that, in some countries the challenges are bigger and different than in other countries.
Can you give us some examples of these challenges or the differences you're seeing in the different countries?
Sure. I mean, for instance, in the UK, online ordering comes almost naturally, and it's quite easy for both the bakers to get their products online, but also for the consumers to have access to them. But in other countries, such as, for instance, Poland or Germany, that's not so much the case. We've also seen that the impact to the businesses has been more severe in the different countries. For instance, in Eastern European countries such as Poland, which we've been focusing on a lot lately, we saw that the businesses were hit a little bit harder because they put in restrictive measures quite early on. But we're also seeing a faster recovery now at this point. Whereas in countries like the Benelux or the Netherlands as a country and not Benelux as a region, we saw that the impact was not so severe. So the drop in the curve was not so deep. And we're also seeing the business slowly crippling up with the lifting of the restriction measures.
You've talked about a very fragmented approach in the European market and the need to address each of these countries in a little bit of a flexible and different fashion, right? Because it's not a one size fits all. So can you tell us a little bit about the solution you're implementing for the bakers and the bakeries to conduct business with Don?
Yeah, so we have a strategy of efficiency. We know that our footprint in Europe is not as strong as the competition. So we can't beat them by sheer force alone. So we got to beat them by having a better strategy, by being more efficient, and by having a really good quality of product, which is something that Dawn is known for. So our strategy has been to try and use e-commerce to provide complete visibility of our product portfolio. That's what we're doing in Poland, that is our pilot country. And we looked at leveraging features that exist in the B2B commerce tool that come out of the box. So providing customer with his order history, the ability to reorder online quite quickly with only a couple of clicks. We've also been very clear on who our key audience is for this e-commerce portal, and we don't want to go out and try and catch the big fish, the large outlets. No, I think our focus has mostly been on the artisanal bakers, the ones that have between 1 to 5 outlets, because if you go above that, the purchasing process starts to become quite complex. And up until that number of outlets, they're still looking to get in efficient products that they can use in their daily production, but also looking for efficient ways that they can order, and that's where we think we can help. We have also been looking at digital transformation as a whole. So transforming our own business to be able to cope with the added stresses of e-com. Because when you're in the e-commerce space, you have an expectation from the customer that if you receive a customer inquiry, you should be able to reply fairly quickly. And so we are also doing that transformation internally at Dawn to be able that we can to make sure that we can cope with those challenges or add the challenges that we will see. The other key feature or major enabler for us has been the ability that the B2B commerce tool has to deal with different languages and different currencies straight out of the box. So we haven't had to go and translate a whole lot of fields. No, that's all standard out of the box. And that ability to deal with those challenges has really been an enormous advantage for us because we don't have a large team of developers, right? Dawn is a baking industry company. It's not a software development company. So we've had to go and leverage what we could out of the box to ensure that we were able to offer a good, simple to use and a portal that adds value not only to Dawn but to our customers.
Andre, you talked a little bit about this being a digital transformation, and this generally isn't very easy for businesses, especially if they're doing it for the first time, and especially if they've been around for a while. So we always speak about the technical sides of a solution, but what are some of the human elements that came into play as you were going through this digital transformation, maybe internally in the company?
Yeah, so those are probably the toughest ones, but the ones that are more rewarding to deal with. If I'm honest with you, the fact that Dawn has been a company that's not a technology company. They're a manufacturer. They know what they do, and technology is not their core business. So that part of hand-holding and bringing the people over on to the journey with us really is the critical driver behind it. If you don't have the support of the people that you work with, if you don't make sure that you understand what you're going for, and if you don't have a one voice, that that leadership that really relays the message that no, it is scary, it is daunting, it is different, but we are doing this because this is what we do in order to move forwards and be competitive, and making sure that everyone is on board during that journey has really been one of the key drivers for our success.
And what were some of the hesitations maybe the team had, or how did you go about convincing them that this was something that you needed to do all together?
I just think demystifying the fact that there's a new tool in your system coming into play, right? Making them understand that the added tool is not something that it will add to their workload, but rather facilitate the way that they manage their workload. Doing a lot of demos, showing them and letting them use it, use the tool, look around, that's helped a lot. It also helped to start working my way from the ground up and from the bottom down as well. So, trying to convince the leaders in the different functions that this is the right thing to do is a little bit easier when there's the message is coming from the leadership, right? It's about making sure that it gets to the people that actually do the work. So that's also been another key focus of ours, is to try and make sure that nobody's left behind. We have been onboarding different people at different stages, but we are trying to onboard as many people as possible to embark on this fantastic journey with us.
As you're implementing B2B commerce at Dawn Foods, and as you're kind of doing this a little bit of internal selling perhaps, what are some of the features that are coming out from the teams that they're really excited about?
That's a good question. I think different people are excited about different things. That's usually how it works. Because we're doing a full Salesforce implementation that includes Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, Marketing Cloud, and Commerce. Of course, the marketing team are really excited about the data that they're going to get in their marketing cloud tool. The sales team are over the moon to be able to use, Sales Cloud with all the capabilities and schedules and the maps. They are absolutely looking forward to that. And the customer service team. We had a workshop with them earlier today where we did a tool demo, and you could see the excitement in their face. Even though it was a remote workshop, they were all really excited about that. So I think different people are excited about different things. But above all, I think everyone is looking forward to see what commerce will add as a capability, because I think it's come to a point where people understand how transformational this is. Okay, and I think from our first conversation in presenting commerce to now, there's been a complete switch. I think the first time we did a demo of the e-commerce portal to the regional directors, our cluster leaders, their opinion, their view shifted entirely, and they immediately asked, okay, so when am I getting it? When can I launch it too? So I think all in all, it's a key part of the transformation. It's about creating excitement as opposed to generating fear into people that they will of the change. It's generating excitement about the change. It's making sure that we tell them time and time again that they are a part of the journey, that they are important, that everyone has a role to play in the digital transformation. We're not changing our business model. We want to continue to work with the partners that we have. We just want to do it better. We want to do it more efficiently. And we want people to get to know more of our products.
Great. And I think just to take us home, you've done digital transformation projects before Dawn as well. And now Dawn is also a complete 360 transformation across sales, service, marketing, commerce, the whole gamut. Can you give the audience a little bit of insight, maybe some tips, best practices into how they can also drive their commerce transformation and do it quickly?
Sure. I think every organization is different. And the first thing I did when I stepped into Dawn was try to understand how the organization worked, what made people tick. Okay. So, and I understood that we had to take an MVP approach. We had to make it clear to people that this was a minimal viable product and explain to them what we were doing. But at the same time, make it clear what we were not going to do for the first phase. It is as important, if not even more important, to say what you're doing than to explain to them what you will not be doing in the first phase, because in that way you get to set the expectations. Okay, that MVP approach allowed us to go from definition to implementation of the commerce portal in 9 weeks. That was 9 weeks of development, and at the end of the 9 weeks, we were ready to start loading product information onto the platform. And that just gives you an idea of the capabilities of the platform. The other thing is pick a small group of people that are really excited about it, that really want to be a part of the journey, and make sure that the team is focused. It's very easy to get distracted with the noise, especially if you're in a larger organization. Okay, the key to being successful is making sure that you get the right people, and that those individuals are given the time to really focus on the work and dedicate themselves to what you're doing. The last one is probably if we're talking about commerce, and if you're talking about piloting and trialing it out there, use the same logic as you would for your internal people and the people that you want to be part of your core team. look for customers that are excited about commerce, that want to try out technology. Look, I visit customers. I have had the opportunity to visit customers, and you get everything ranging from that artist, that customer that only wants to bake, that his main focus is to bake and to create these amazing cakes, these amazing tarts. That's what he does. He's a baker. He's not a business manager. What these people tend to do is to put all their focuses and effort on creating these pieces of art and optimize the part where they need to manage their business to become 10 or 15% of the time that it takes out of their day. And they have a method, they have a way of doing things, may it be on paper, via fax or via phone. And this is not our primary target. I think we will get to these customers eventually, but these are not the ones that we want as our primary target, because we don't want to disrupt that balance that they managed to create over the years, okay? What we're looking for is customers that are excited about technology, that really understand the potential of being the first ones to embark on the journey. And I think that's also key to being successful is pick a small group of customers, but pick an excited bunch, pick those ones that really look forward to transforming their own business and having the ability to leverage technology to their benefit.
So just to wrap up everything you said for the audience, because there's some really good nuggets in there. One is probably take an MVP approach, figure out what you do want to do as well as don't want to do. Have a team that is completely focused on this. So I would say almost like a SWAT team approach. So they are completely focused on this. And last but not least, find customers who are excited to be your pilots and to try this out and go on this journey with you. Is that about correct?
Yeah, I'd say that's a good summary. Yeah.
Okay, great. Andre, thank you for being with us here today, and congratulations on getting your first order through your B2B commerce portal. I'm sure that's a very exciting moment for you and for Dawn as well. So congratulations.
Thank you very much. It's a massive milestone for us. We know that it's the first step in a much longer journey, but we got there, and I'm really proud. And I'm proud of the team that worked with me and allowed us to achieve this significant milestone.
For those of you in the audience who are wondering how you can quickly bring your business online, not to worry, Salesforce is here to help. And B2B commerce can actually help you deploy a storefront in just a matter of weeks. To create this new channel to sell to your customers with things like self-service reordering, product recommendations, and just digital purchasing in general. But also helps you go to market faster with easy deployment and out-of-the-box functionality, like we heard Andre mention. But also a 360 view of each customer across sales, service, marketing, and commerce to really create those one-to-one experiences across the entire customer journey. And last but not least, lowering costs to serve by providing the ability for your customers and empowering them to self-serve, but also providing them information about your products and giving them the tools for them to inform themselves and find what they need about your business. So smoothing out the entire transaction overall. And what we've seen from our customers implementing B2B commerce, similar to Dawn Foods, is they were able to not only grow revenue and lower costs, but they were also able to very quickly break even, because as soon as your storefront is live and you're taking in orders, this turns into a really positive ROI very quickly for your business. And Forrester did a study with B2B commerce customers across the globe, from CG companies to manufacturers, and on average found that businesses saw about a 271% return on investment over 3 years after implementing B2B commerce. So what you saw today was just the tip of the iceberg. Salesforce has an entire suite of products dedicated to solving your commerce challenges, not of just today, but of tomorrow.